Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy Podcast with the Traders.
G'day with the Traders. Thanks to Sportsbet, I'm Roy. I coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Warn Dogs.
And an up and about Calvin.
Well, coach of Calvinator, and I'm back where I belong, dog.
Top cow. You've moved up the rankings this week. You
Flew.
went 90 spots up.
I did,
Which is
90
a fair
spots.
chunk, really.
It is.
Off the back of what score?
A 23? 23, 15?
That's nice.
You wanted a 23 this week, and you'd be pretty happy with yourself, I reckon.
I reckon,
Anything
yeah.
above that.
That's
Seeing
sure.
the winner was over 2,500 for the week.
A what?
Oh, well
That's
done.
a 25.
That's
That'll
incredible.
move you up the rankings.
I reckon.
Did you move it all this week, dog, or did you slide again?
No, I went up 500 spots. That makes me better
That's
than
a
you
lot.
because
That's
I went up
true.
more than you. So up to 3,375 because of my 2286, which just quietly, you know where they don't add up your scores properly? I don't think they added up mine properly.
they do
But
this.
on the negative way.
They do
I
this.
think, honestly, there's no way that I scored well this week. But I must have done all right because it was 4,000s for the week. Which is
well, yeah, that's
better
all right.
than anything.
Yeah, good job. 22.05 in a disappointing round for Destroy, so I slid 100 spots exactly to 302.
So we're in this luxury trade season, and this is where we start. Well, we do our little stock take of, did it go all right this week or not? I lost.
You lost points on your trade.
I lost points on my trades. And one of them, okay, so I made points because Bailey Smith was out.
Yes.
So I just get whatever score came in, so that's a win. The negative on that, I went to Nick Martin thinking that would be a great call.
I thought it would be.
I made 8 points on what my bench cover would have been there.
Oh, wow.
That's not enough.
But the other trade, I went Xerri to Caldwell, who got injured and scored a 7.
Why do you
I
hate
lost
points?
14 points there. So, in all, I lost 6 points this week from my trades.
Oh, dear.
What a disaster.
At least you've got Zach Merrett.
Oh, Doug, you start on that. Do you know that I have traded him out twice in the last, well, I'm nearly going to call it 6 months.
Yep.
Well,
It
2
is,
years.
yeah.
The week before he scores 140.
Yep. Hates the game, dog.
You are. Everyone thinks I'm the best at giving rockets.
Well, that's it.
You are. Your trading out of Merrett rocket is elite.
Oh, well, at least he's all right for my draft teams.
So my luxury trades, it wasn't actually luxury. It was pivot to cover Bailey Smith.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'd activated Caleb Daniel as a cash grab to a rookie.
Yep.
But then once Smith was out, it ended up being then put the cash on a rookie to McRae. So in a way, I went Daniel to McRae.
Okay, that's good.
Unintentional luxury trade, but it got me 33. So
Well, that's
it's
a
huge win.
And you've still got Bailey Smith in your team.
And I've still got Bailey Smith. Yeah.
Ooh. I improved about 100 points, lads.
Wowzers.
Yeah, I know.
No
Luxury-
wonder you're flying.
luxury
Calvinator.
trade king.
Up and about.
Can't get this grin off my face, can I?
Luxury trade king.
So Doherty to Holmes, and then Smith went to McRae. Difference was between Lohman had like a 58 or something, so
Yeah.
it was a 50 point or so.
cute.
That's how you get it done. That's how you trade, boys.
Oh, nice work.
Thank you very much.
Now, Calvin,
Oh yes,
you're
yeah.
keeping receipts at the moment, aren't you?
I'm not.
You walked in his swag.
No.
Those people that said.
Okay,
Those people that said.
I just think we deserve a little pat on the back.
Yes.
For the suggestion of, and people are going to not like this, right? So I'll apologise now.
As if. You're never sorry.
No, people aren't going to like it, but Roy wanted me to bring it up. So, the Max gone to Grundy move.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now...
That's a taboo subject.
Well, I know, but since then,
Yeah.
so we'll go the last 2 weeks. I'm not sure what the average is, but he scored 178 Max.
He scored 89 and 89.
Right.
Get your calculator
I've
out.
already
Work
done
out the
it.
average.
178, right?
That's not an average. That's a total.
Right. Grundy, on the other hand, has scored 250.
Right.
Plus, you get the bonus game of 121.
Oh.
So get your hands out, pat me on the back, and Dog, you were very lucky to follow this.
I was. I did do it in the end.
Have you got something you'd like to say?
I've got something I'd like to say. I did find a receipt.
Oh, you found one?
The Lizard of Oz.
Oh, no.
If one trader does that ridiculous gone trade, you'd reckon they all will. And take heaps of mug punters with them. Well done.
Well, you're welcome. Well done, all right.
Here you go, Lizard of Oz. We'll find the next receipt next week if the...
The mug punters.
Hey, can this be a new segment?
No, stop being so arrogant, Cal. You've already been cancelled everywhere else, you butcher.
Here it is! That's what you did, Xerri. You stuck it right up them.
I'll go first with my Jack McRae.
Oh,
because
Cal.
listen, in an area where you don't know what's going on in the forward line,
No.
Bailey Smith being that out, which we all saw coming, but I was like, where do I go? Where do I go? Where do I go? Hey, he's out every week, mate.
Yeah,
he's
you
got to
saw it
go.
coming. I
So,
didn't.
yeah, Jack McRae, 123, saved the day.
Yeah, it was good. Colby,
Oh, yes.
speaking of receipts,
Yeah, jeez.
I might have to look at a few on this one.
Dominating.
Zippy the Kangaroo, I call him. That's
Oh, do you?
Yeah, it's one of my good pieces of work. You'll see it in the AFL record. Now, he went 32 and 9. He keeps
He's a
hitting
machine.
that 30 possession.
He does.
So he kicked a goal as well, swung forward late. 124. Thanks, Cole.
It's been a good pick.
Very good.
One of the best picks of the year has been Nasiah Wanganeen-Milera. 145.
Why did you look at me?
145, 40 touches, all these career high things. Career high, though. Season high for me, I think. Captain.
Oh, you're welcome.
Great. captain.
290 points. Thank you
Oh,
very
my
much,
God.
You're
Nasiah.
welcome. You're welcome, dog.
It was the most disgraceful display I've ever seen.
Because it's just not acceptable.
Dug a hole, fell in the hole. We're talking Bailey Dale Roy.
Yeah.
59.
Someone could have thrown him a
Right.
rope and got him out.
Oh, no, he's buried. Tagged on a wing, went forward. He even kicked 2 goals.
Yeah.
For his score of 59. Mm-hmm. Dug a hole, all right? No good. No good.
It's horrendous. Now, speaking of horrendous, Petrarca. Like, that's what you mean, that forward line. You
Yep.
don't want to go shopping there. And he's a prime example. So you taught me last night how to do the quarter time splits.
Thank you.
Thanks for
You're
that.
welcome.
14, 13, 14
Yep.
in the last 3. That ain't getting it done.
No.
At all.
No.
-3.
They're not very good quarter splits, are they?
They're
not.
No. Nick
Consistent.
Martin. Now, I traded Baslenka to him to get a leg up because I wanted to avoid Archer May. And like I mentioned before, 8 points is all I really gained out of doing that, and I could have done something much more important for my team. But
just a
yeah,
wasted
looking at that,
trade.
I've basically brought in 2 blokes that scored 70s this week.
You love it,
In
dog.
luxury trade
You're
season
good
with
at this
Caldwell
game.
there. Oh, man, oh, man.
You don't trust the Bombers, mate. When are you going to learn?
Yes.
No, they suck. They're no good. But draft picks, I'm being smart with that. Cash cow of the week. The votes are in. Michael Barlow medal. Max Hall. He gets 5 votes this week for that 124
He's
that
been
he scored.
so good.
Imagine if he was your cover for
Imagine
Bailey
that.
Smith.
That'd
That
be
would have been nice.
nice.
So 27 disposals, 3 goals. Machine. Well done to him. George Stevens. Now, he came in as a late inclusion on Friday because of Tyson Stengel. So nice for him. That midfield role, he was in 69% of their centre
Good
bounces.
player.
He's very good.
And, 21 touches for him. So he's high in the trade-in targets this week
I
for a
reckon.
lot of people, as long as he holds his spot. Isaac Kako, that was his game that he's had because he hasn't had many. 79 he scored. It was actually his first score over 55 this year.
Handy timing for...
Yeah,
people that
could have
couldn't
been
hit it.
handy Bailey Smith cover
Yeah.
as well there. So just good pressure player. He's exciting to watch. We're going to love him as a player to watch. Probably not so much in fantasy though. 2 votes goes to Job Shanahan. He plays for West Coast. This is his second game.
Wow.
Yeah, he was good.
So yeah, he went up 48k this week.
Good on him.
Break even of -7. Maybe he's a handy bench player, or maybe not. Tom McCarthy gets 1 vote though, so
yes.
solid 76. But there would have been a few little Calvinators out there whinging about his score, going, "Not good enough, not good enough. I have you as one of my on-field players."
That's a good enough score.
It is.
It is.
Right, that's
100%.
fine.
Yes.
You weren't happy about it though.
So
Yes, I was. I was fine with it.
people playing him on field that were complaining about that, you got to remind yourself of such a small investment of cash
Yes.
covering a field spot and hitting 70
He's a rookie.
while you get to spend money on the
That's it.
ceiling guys.
Yeah.
That's the play.
Yeah.
He's a-
Anything above that's a bonus.
Here's the news of the week you need to know on the official AFL Fantasy Podcast.
News time, and starting back on Thursday night, Tristan Xerri, big ex-Xerri, he went down like a sack of
he
big
did.
spuds there.
He did. It didn't look good.
Hopefully he's okay. Well, it sounds like he's okay.
Yeah.
So not concussed. They play on Sunday, which is, you might see that as a good thing. He's got a bit of time to recover, but also a bad thing if there is something wrong and we don't find out until later. We could be locked into some
Glad he had
trades.
the lid on because, man, oh man, he was getting bumped in the head, hit in the head.
Yep.
He even hit the head on the turf.
He did.
If
It was
Libba's
all
asking you,
happening.
mate, you don't seem right.
Yeah.
You're probably not right.
That is
And
fair
someone
call.
tried to fight Libba about asking.
They did. I saw that.
So, yeah, that's a big one to watch. But also concussed in that game was LDU, so that happened early on. Unlucky for
good.
LDU there. Now, Nick Lachie hurt his knee after being on fire to start with. That
goodness,
was
he was on
helping
fire.
North Melbourne very much there. Do you see, this would lose your votes for Journo of the Year, Mitch Cleary.
Oh, what's he done?
What did he do?
He asked Clarko, Nick
yes.
Larkie's a bit sore. Do you think about subbing him? Well, considering we used our sub in the first quarter.
Yeah, and snappy about it too.
He wasn't happy.
And Mitch just went back in his box real quick.
Good thing he recovered on Saturday for his, the rest
The
of his
wise
news.
old owl was not too wise on that one.
Ed Richards, he hurt his shoulder, but played out the game after that big bump from Xerri.
That looked bad.
It did look sore.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a stinger.
Oh, yeah.
Zach Williams hurt his knee.
He
Wasn't a
was
soft
their
tissue.
only good player
Yeah.
too.
Jack Buckley on Friday night in that doubleheader hurt his ankle and was subbed out. Now on Saturday, so Jai Caldwell, my man, that I brought in that week, off the back of Roy's weekly top trade
Oh,
targets.
hang on. Where was he? What number was he?
One.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can't
Roy.
pick injuries.
No, you can't pick
He,
injuries.
he had 79 points with 6 minutes to go in the
That's time
last
for
quarter.
Jai. You don't know Jai very well. He doesn't need much time on ground to go bang.
I bought him to get 110 pluses. Anyway,
He's
didn't
on
happen.
track.
So he's out. Now, it sounds like a little bit of a whisper out there that he may need surgery.
Oh.
So it's a forced trade.
Oh, apologies. Sorry.
Yeah, should say
Not
that
like
coming.
you say that with any feeling for me.
I do.
And everyone else's team out there. We'll keep our receipts destroyed as well. Now, Bailey Smith was the big news of the weekend,
Oh,
of
when
course.
is
So
any big news?
laid out on Saturday afternoon. That was a 4:15 game, but Mitch Cleary, so he redeemed.
He did, yes.
Redemption there
Had a
by
day
getting that
nap.
out there. I did send him a text, though, that morning. I said, you know how to play the algorithm, don't you? Saturday morning, you tweet about Bailey Smith.
Yep.
And everyone laps it up. That they did. So he ended up being that laid out. Illness is what they've named it up as.
Okay, we all get sick.
Yeah.
Right, I get that.
Yeah.
But off his bye. So in the last 5 weeks, bye included, he's played twice.
Yeah.
What's going
He's been
on?
laid
here?
out. He's laid out in all 3 games.
And
too.
even in the games he's played, there's drama before the game, him warming up and not doing captain's runs and all this
We
stuff.
flagged the drama of this bloke
Yes.
weeks ago, and it's just becoming a laughable issue.
Yeah.
Now.
And he's sick. Okay, he's sick.
Jeremy Cameron
Whatever,
said
but-
they knew the day
Yes.
before.
Friday,
and
yeah.
stuff.
See, come on. You can't slip that out there.
No.
The club wouldn't be happy with
I
that.
actually listened to Danger interview
yes.
this morning, and this obviously came up. Good questioning. Well
Yep,
done.
Well done.
Interesting answer.
Okay.
Like the way he went about it, it's not how you would answer
Someone being sick.
normally being sick.
Yeah. Had a sore throat, mate. He'll be good to go next
Yeah,
week.
it was more like, well, we've all had, no one gets through the season unscathed. We've all had things going on and this and it was like, that's not a normal way to answer someone was just crook.
Yep.
Because like exactly what you said, a bit crook, couldn't get through.
It's coming out both ends.
Yeah.
Something like that.
100%. So anyway, but he did seem very confident that he'll
Right.
be fine next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope
Well,
so.
so Cow and I traded. Roy didn't. Do we want to get him back? Can you pay 1.2 mil for him?
Yeah, you can. He's the best player in
Bloody
the comp.
expensive now, isn't he? But
I can't. I will not have him again this year. Like I just,
for the second time.
yeah. I can't believe
You've
that.
traded him out twice.
Yep.
Wowzers.
What an idiot. Now's more like, it's a better time to trade now
He's
because
not-
he's top of the price. There are players that you can have as alternatives.
He's not walking into a nice matchup this week.
No.
So, anyway, we'll see how it goes. Like, my team's putrid anyway, so it doesn't matter. Sam Lawler in that game, he hurt his hammy. Poor fella, so he's come back. People said it was rushed, but he's been out for a little while.
He's been a while.
So, anyway, it looks like he might be done for the season now,
Okay.
unfortunately, the number 1 draft pick. But that's the earliest time the Tigers have actually ever pulled a sub. There you go. There's a stat for you.
right
Hugo Ralphsmith hurt his hammy in that game as well. Now, Saturday night, Dante Vicentini was subbed out with a knee in the first quarter. Also in the first quarter was Asava Radaglia with a hammy, so those guys might be out for some time. Sampao Pepper, sadly, ACL.
Yeah,
So
that was
for
bad.
him.
Yep.
So,
They copped it, didn't
Poor
they?
bugger.
Jimmy Webster hurt his calf, so he actually was a late into the team on Friday. There was a heap on Friday afternoon. It was like one of those days. I think there was about 4 changes to squads.
Yeah,
going on
right.
for Stocker, who was pulled out on Friday. Papley hurt his hammy, so he hasn't had a good run at it this year. The Amati party hurt his groin. And Josh Richelli, knee. We'll have to watch on that to see what that's like from there.
Yeah, no good.
All right. Couple of Magoo's news. We've got Jed Bustlinger.
The bus.
Just because I want to keep talking about
Well,
it. He has a ton.
The ironic thing is,
8 marks.
the commentary around the Dogs, the only flaw they find
He's in the back line.
is his position.
Yep.
Like, so,
But they don't give him a run.
no, you'd think he's still behind Jones if they actually need to strengthen that
think so.
spot.
Oh, Georgie Payne, 2 goals, 17 tackles and 103. North Melbourne could be an option there. Cogs probably comes back in after his 25 disposals, 6 tackles and 88.
That's enough.
Sardell Hawley was back there. If anyone's still rolling with him on their bench, you still have him, Roy? Or
No,
He's still on the
unfortunately.
bench. Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's still there.
So
He'll
he
be
was
back.
in to the team, or VFL that was, with 60 points for his 21 disposals. Lee McMahon, he's been that mid-season draftee that is the leading goal kicker at 2 clubs. 2 goals and 39 points. He's not scoring much for us. Binsey, he always does it.
He
132 there. Carlton might swing some more changes again.
How is Binsey not getting a game?
How many was it? Was it 6 this week?
Yeah, it was big. And they responded.
Didn't they ever?
Jaden Short, he was back there with 142.
Jaden.
So 29 disposals and 14 marks for him. So thing is, they have talked about him coming back in, but not even playing as a defender, and
Oh, yeah.
because of our old mate back there,
Who's our mate?
Tassie boy.
Oh,
What's his
Banksy.
name? Banksy.
Banksy.
Banksy. He's killing
He's
it.
actually
Yeah.
the goats, mate. He's been all over him. Drew.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
He's been smart. Houghton.
Oh, yes.
Taj Cow.
That's it.
24 disposals, 5 marks, 8 tackles, 1 goal, 101 points. He's a 307k mid forward, so one of the draftees that may come into the side this week. Watch this space. Hawks had Kaushadir and Mitch Lewis again in the 2s, 3 goals each for Box Hill, so that was good. And speaking of boxes, Boxall, 106. You traded him, didn't you, Roy?
I did. He was a guy that actually went as the cover for Smith.
2 goals, 19 disposals, and 9 tackles for that 106.
be back in.
Yeah, pretty good numbers there. Let's go a full version of this one. We haven't done it for a while.
Oh, we need to do it more often.
What you gonna do?
When the hunt is true.
When the hunt is true.
When the hunt is true. Calvin knows what he's
Right.
doing because he's
Now,
our tag man.
we need to know this because there are some people out there like a Sarong who went bang, bang, a couple of really big scores. And we're like,
Yes.
yeah, but,
Where are your receipts on that one, Roy?
there's a couple of tags coming up that
Or is
he's
that an
not
off-air
going
receipt
to like.
thing?
Right?
Off air receipt.
Right. So you can't, but buying into players with this coming up. So we'll have a quick chat about Zach Merrett. So he obviously had the 140. He's got the Richmond matchup this week. And then he's going to start to walk into some tags.
Yeah.
Is he someone that you would buy into knowing that the tags are coming up?
Good Zach Merrett doesn't worry too much about tags.
He used to be very good.
Good Zach Merrett still goes, 105, 110 with a
Yeah.
tag. Good Zach Merrett is not what we saw for the last 8 weeks
Yes.
leading up to the last round.
Well, Warnie said he looked really, really hungry on the weekend.
And angry.
And what noise did you make? That he Come on.
Oh, actually, you know what noise it probably actually sounded
made
like?
a
It actually
noise.
sounded a lot like this.
Oh,
That's what he was like.
that's not
running
the
around.
noise you made,
No,
though.
I can't
Can you
remember.
make it?
I don't even remember
Yeah,
what
you
it was.
said he was like really-
You do it, because you're the sound effect guy.
You were like, he was really angry. He was like,
like that.
right.
He was. The way he attacked contests.
It was
and
very deep, angry, heavy breathing.
he
that
ran
did.
hard. He was.
I nearly ran out of the room.
All right. So, yeah, I know.
player done.
Tags this week. We've got Bedford, obviously, against Geelong.
Right.
Who does he go to? Is it Homeboy or is it Baz?
I think it's Homeboy.
Oh, it could be Homeboy.
It could well be.
It could be.
Baz won't play, so.
Well, there you go.
Potentially.
So that's an interesting one to keep an eye on. The other one we need to talk about is Nasiah.
Yeah.
Right?
What are they going to do? Well, Sam Mitchell tried. He said 3 or 4 blokes ran with him.
I'd like to challenge that, Sam. The message didn't go to the players.
In multiple
because
positions.
He did whatever
Isn't
he
that
wanted.
amazing to say that?
But even around a stoppage, no one was next to him.
No,
So-
even at the ball up,
Yes.
his man is the only one that didn't stand next to clearly the best and most talented player on the ground
In the league.
in
Now,
the league.
The Swans are not going to let him do that this week.
No.
They've got multiple people who could do it. They've got Campbell. They've got
So it was Campbell
James
that
Jordan.
did it to Clark, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
so held Clark to 46.
Now, Nasiah's obviously a lot better than Clark.
Yes.
But that is 100% just aimed at shutting Clark out of the game, isn't it?
Yes,
To keep someone that good to 42.
you would think so.
Yes.
So it's got to be
That's
to
all I was
Nasiah.
saying, Dog. I still think Nasiah is going to be good. However,
He might just have 40 disposals.
yes, exactly. Not 33 kicks. He'll have 30.
And the other one to keep an eye on in that game is going to be Windhager.
Yeah.
And whether or not he goes to Gulden.
Now, Windy played on the wing.
In preparation. Someone told us that last night. Didn't
love
tag
that.
last week.
No, he didn't. But they didn't really play anyone either.
No, but just whack him on the wing. Get ready for... Oh,
So-
this could be a role next week on Errol.
It could be. So there's
So-
a couple that you need to keep an eye on if
You
you're
would
buying
think that
into it.
happens, wouldn't you? Windy would have to go to Errol, given the form in the last 2 weeks.
I would think so. So
This is a big tag watch game. Like, it's actually the
There's a-
game of...
Because
you've got...
everyone's going to tag everyone.
Unless,
Or just man up on
No
each
one's
other.
going to touch the ball.
unless a journo suggests to Ross Lyon
Oh, Drew.
that might be a good thing
Drew.
to do.
Drew.
Drew can have these tags removed
He
by
can.
suggesting
Yep.
they may happen.
Drew fights with Ross.
Big
though.
time.
So Gulden,
Come on, Drew. Do it for
You can do it.
Australia.
Gulden copped a little bit of attention last week from
Wags the
Wags
dog,
the dog.
early.
Yeah, he did. Got a bit more freed up in the second half.
Yeah.
But held him to like 25 touches. He filled his stat line though, Roy, with 8 tackles,
Yeah.
7 marks.
Yeah.
So, what do you reckon? Windy to Gould.
Windy to Gulden,
And then where's
Campbell to
Campbell will go to Nasiah?
Nasiah. If
Good
that,
luck.
James Jordan, where's he going to go then? Because he'll go to someone.
McRae.
Could go to McCrazy.
Does he go to Sinclair
could
if
go
he's
to
running
Sting.
through his midfield?
So
bit?
it's an interesting one, Dog. There's a few to keep an eye on. The Bedford one's going to be the interesting one, though, I reckon, whether that's Holmes or Smith.
Yeah.
There you go. That's tag watch.
He tried to go to Smith earlier in the year, didn't he?
I haven't got to that part of my research yet.
Yeah, and because that was down at the Cattery,
It was too.
Smith just ran amok anyway.
Yeah. So it might be Homeboy.
Maybe.
Yeah. There you go. Everyone can turn the podcast off
What
now.
a fantastic
Yep,
segment.
what a
Well, it
great
does actually
segment.
become relevant for the rest of the season.
It does.
It does.
And where we're making these moves. Now, I'm going to, before we get into our real trade targets here, I guess a bit of discussion around that is that we are in this luxury sideways-ish trading season. It's the little bits of moves from that little underperformer. It's that if we put it in monetary value, maybe those guys that are around 900K,
Yeah.
either it's sideways to the 900K that you like. So let's just use some simple names like a Ned Long, for example, Roy.
Yes.
If you had your, well, I'll just use my team, a Chera,
Yeah.
a Hewitt,
Yeah.
a Doherty, those types of guys. I'm
Not
just sort of
quite
saying
getting it done, are they?
that you want them because you've got some players that are better, that are priced around about the same as them anyway, and we've
Yeah.
got those guys to talk about. So we are sort of upgrading / sideways trading, but it's sort of a just trying to get that better player, and that's what most of us are doing with 2 trades.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the plan.
I think I'll still do a traditional down and up.
Okay, well, if you're going down, there are some rookies there that are coming through.
There's a
So
couple.
There's plenty.
George Stevens, 280K midfielder, so he scored that 84. You'd think they'd have to keep him in now.
I think it was 14 score involvements, a
Yeah.
record for
Yeah.
a first gamer. So I was going to say no one in their right mind could omit a player for that, but
That's the flag.
there's
Isn't
one
it?
mate,
place
Closely
to do it.
dropped
Yeah.
from a couple of fantasy 90s, didn't he?
he did,
Yeah.
like laying double-figure tackles. So his job security sucks.
He's
It
good,
does,
though.
big time.
95
He's
average
good.
in the VFL, so he's been racking up over the last couple of years anyway.
Means nothing if you play for Geelong.
Already brought in Rowan Steele, Roy, at 269k.
Yeah.
Oh,
he
beach
went-
Got a
balls.
60.
He went well.
Yeah.
He looked really good, actually. Yeah.
Would you encourage people to get him, or is that just
Well, his
he
job
could be out as
security,
quick as
it'll be very interesting to see. Like, he played well, so you would think he would hold, but there's people like Steele, side bottom, just coming straight back in.
Then we've got some forwards, essentially. So Ashton Moyer is still at 230k because he had that very low one in round one, but he scored 49, and
Yeah.
I think Carlton are going to play him.
Same.
If it's about having a possible warm body,
Yeah.
then he's probably just what you do.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. So, like, it makes... I'll probably go Moyer the Destroyer over Stevens just for
The cash.
and the job
Yep.
security.
Well,
to be
yeah,
honest.
he's at
might as well.
50k.
Yeah.
So the other ones there, Job Shanahan, who did get votes. He went a 36 in his first game, but a 78 in that second, 310. Are you better off saving 80k?
I think so at this stage.
It's a lot.
Archer May, similar like that, but he's good. Like, he's just a solid citizen.
Your
in the
best
team.
players come from
Mid-season
random drafts. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly right. That's what the Bombers do. And Cooper Harvey, I just wanted to throw him out there. 345k, scored 62. Did
you see that goal he kicked?
Yeah, it's awesome.
That was sensational.
All right, so let's look at these sidewaysy trading targets. Let's go through each position, and we've just got a couple of names for each one to talk through. Defenders, Calvin.
My boy.
You traded out Lachie Whitfield,
I did.
which was probably a good call on the buy when you were loaded with all those round 16 buys. He's got a break even of 149.
Yes, he does.
It's at 942k. Anyone that looks at Lachie Whitfield and what he can do at 942k will go, value.
If you're
Can we pick him?
happy, yes, you can, but you're going to have to ignore the break even of 149. Like,
Yeah.
he will get cheaper.
Yeah.
But with that said, his matchup this week isn't that bad.
No.
And his run home is elite.
Because people have
So-
scored all right against.
It looks
Geelong.
bad. You look at that and you go, I'm not going to buy him at that when he's got a break even so high he'll get cheaper. He's only 940k.
Coming off
He's
the-
already cheap.
And coming off the concussion and that, I really see him thrown back in that
I would think so.
half-back role,
Yeah.
bit of bruise-free, get your confidence back. Like, he'll go 120.
He's almost, though, the
He won't-
must-have either this week or next week.
Yes.
Like, if you've got to have plans to get him next week
He's
almost,
already
don't you?
value.
Yeah.
So, I don't know now.
Because their draw is great.
It's got a great
just
draw.
epic. If
I don't
we're
know if
talking
he'll
scale of
drop under.
hardness, it's epic.
It is.
I don't know if he'll drop under 900 now.
Yeah, okay.
No.
I think he might be good.
Well, if
this
he has a
week.
120, he's not dropping under 900.
No.
So
And I think he will.
For the rest of the year, they do not play a hard or slightly hard team on the scale,
That's if he's playing back.
That's
and
if he's
not
playing
thrown
back.
half forward again.
which you surely not.
Surely not. I don't think.
Because
will.
he did have that back roll. He was back.
Yes.
Back, taking kickings and doing what he normally did.
Yeah.
But then obviously he got the knock on the scone. So, yes, you can go him 100%.
So
you
a
can do
really
it this
simple
week.
one there, Sam Doherty, who did pick up... Oh, we glossed over that. That should be in the news.
should have been.
DPPs, Doherty was there. And that's about all we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
You can check that out at AFL.com. $118,000 he's worth. It will cost you $24k to go from Doherty to...
So that's where you take the
Whitfield.
break evens
Yep.
even out of the question. Is that an upgrade? It's
More
a
than an upgrade.
significant.
And he's still cheap.
Upgrade.
He's still cheap.
And Lachie will end up in the role on 22.
I would think so.
Because it's Lachie.
Yes.
So that's it's a bargain this week or the next.
Yeah. There are quite a few defenders that you can be floating around there, but just thought we'd mention him and would mention Colby McKercher as well.
Yep.
Still value at 833k, especially off the back of scoring that 124, but they've been solid numbers. So that 833k, price in mid-80s, that's a sort of basement of where he's scoring at the moment at the minimum. So you could still be doing that with the Melbourne matchup this week.
Yeah.
You've got to watch the roll.
Yeah, well, you do.
If that roll changes at all,
Yeah.
and he only scored 14 in the last quarter.
Yeah.
So what do
And
you
that
do?
was-
Move more wing?
That was with a mark kick goal.
Yes.
It honestly looked forward.
It did a
Because
little
the
bit
ball
more.
was down back a lot and he was nowhere
Yep.
to be seen.
He was on the bike a bit too.
He was on the bike a little bit. So, I mean, the move was intended originally to get his confidence back up,
Yep.
get the ball in his hands.
Well, it's done that.
He's certainly done that, but he does add a bit back there. As much as he's got his critics, which I don't tend to agree with, he's offering a lot. At least it's not stagnant ball
You may have his
movement
critics,
out of-
but there's no bigger supporter than the old V8.
No, listen, I'll tell you what. He will make mistakes back there.
Yeah.
Point guards do throw turnovers.
Yes.
Like, that's a part of the game. So
Yeah.
if you're going to kick the ball 30 times
Yeah.
and you are going to take risks and try to,
Yeah.
you know.
Because you could have Caleb safely chipping at 20 metres.
So, yes, he will
To
make
people
mistakes back
doing
there, but
nothing.
he'll also set up scores as a result of
Yeah,
it. So
that's right. And his score involvements were high on the weekend as well. So as long as he's playing majority of the game down back, though,
he's a bargain still.
Zippy is still a bargain.
Stop going zippy. It's not going to
It's not
stick.
going to
It
stick.
will. Zippy the bush kangaroo.
No, that's not even close to anything.
It is. You don't get it.
I do get it. You're
You
going
don't.
like Skippy.
Well, it's better than Sonic.
It is better than Sonic.
What's the link to the anything?
Well,
Sonic's
It's-
quick.
speed.
So are kangaroos. You ever tried to catch one?
Colby's favourite colour's blue, maybe? I don't know.
No. It's just over
All
your
right,
head.
Callum Mills, a little bit cheaper than Colby. I don't think you're buying into him, but he did have a good game there with that 95.
Yeah, but no, I don't think so.
Saints and North, the next two.
Yeah, that's quite nice.
It's very nice.
Yeah. Yes, you can then.
Or you might be spending up. So, Holmesy, would you just not do it because of the potential Bedford tag?
But you need Holmesy
You're
at some
spending
point.
a lot of money.
That run home
Yeah.
for Geelong.
Yeah, and bar that one bad game pre-buy, he's been in sensational form.
So after this GWS, he goes St Kilda North.
Yeah.
Melbourne. So
Yeah.
their run home is elite.
Yeah, well, maybe he gets winded.
Maybe he gets winded. He could.
It's just something to half consider, but
Yep.
Nasiah, are you spending too much at $1,156,000 for him?
is there such a thing as too much for him?
Have a look at their draw home, their run home. It is ridiculously green.
As you're the only non-owner out of us,
Yeah.
like, how much do you fear not having him?
Not at all this week. I'll target him following this week.
Okay.
How do you turn up in here each week after Nasiah goes 140 all the time?
I don't know.
How do you turn
do
up
I-
with your team looking the way it does, dog?
How do
Does.
I rank?
I took a lot of. I worked out how you did it each week for
How?
the last 15 years,
How?
and I've gone, yep, just not care about anything in
Oh,
life.
I thought you were going to say a few cans.
Yeah, well, that might be the way to go.
How do you rank better than two people that own the site? That's my question.
You found a little loophole there somewhere, right?
That's how.
Playing the looping
There
game.
you go.
All right, so defenders, tick.
Yep.
Midfielders. You've got a lot of value here, but before we hit the value, maybe you could argue his value, but let's talk about the expensive guy
Yeah.
that feels like we want to have him. That is Errol at $1,073,000, coming off 124, 127 since he's been back. He plays St Kilda and North Melbourne, so on paper, great matchups.
Yep.
Obviously, it's the flag of the tag watch for a windy there. Do we just do it?
Oh, I think if you're considering it and you want him, I think you just do it. So
He's so good to watch. He's greedy too. There was one point in the game where Millsy was closest to an out on the full,
Yeah.
and he just ran faster and
Yeah.
got the ball.
when he's in that mode, he's unbelievable. Now, as someone who has owned Gulden a lot over the years, one thing, it is harder to tag him from a wing, but people will still do it with him because he is that good. Now,
Is he too small to
can-
tag?
You're too small to tag, dog.
He can.
175
This is a
centimetres.
serious comment. He can get caught on cold wings.
Yes.
Even Errol. If he's not doing the role where he then gets plenty of time in the actual midfield,
Which he still does, doesn't he? Like runs
he's
in
usually
off the wing.
Usually, but
Oh.
don't think that is always the case. You've seen it. You've been an owner with me
have,
before
yep.
and gone, Errol is actually holding the width over there on that wing,
Yep.
which is a complete waste of talent.
He looks cold.
He does,
Yeah.
and it cannot go out there.
Is there such thing as a cold wing at Marvel, the way he'd play?
Well, they've got the AC on in there. It's
be
not
right.
freezing,
No,
but
no.
it can get stuck out there sometimes. No, he should be right.
But it is a tough matchup with the tag. And St Kilda, dog, they actually rank the third hardest for midfielders to score against in the last 10 weeks.
Wow.
That's an incredible stat.
It's an incredible stat, not made up by me.
You probably should give him the week then.
Yeah.
So
I
are
don't
you
know.
better than going these more value options? Let's throw a couple out there.
All right.
Zach Merrett
Okay.
at 938K. Again, if anyone looked at Zach Merrett, price in the mid-90s, for a guy that averages 100 every single year, and he's back there now, Calvin for his 10th.
You were right. He'll get there.
I'll never be
easily.
wrong. 145, obviously, he scored there. Now, their run goes great. Richmond, tick.
That's a big tick, right? Massive tick.
GWS, Bedford.
Surely gets Bedford.
Yeah, concern.
Bulldogs.
Yep,
It's
that's
a
okay.
pass.
He
It's a
should be
tick.
fine.
Yep.
Sydney,
He'll get James Jordan.
Definitely get tagged.
Geelong,
He'll get whatever they've got there.
Atkins or someone.
Atkins,
run with him.
Mullen, O'Connor,
St Kilda,
Windy,
Carlton.
Huey.
Huey, Chincotta, if they want to.
If that,
That'll be Q in the wrap
So-
time, that game, though, around 24.
yeah, that's when you trade him out and he has 140. So
There's a few flags there.
Yeah, and we've just seen, like you said, with Caleb Sarong, he come off the bye, 2 matchups where they don't tag, and he went 140, 130.
Yep.
Next 2 weeks, tag teams, for like, what do you have? A 50 and a 60 and a 40.
Yeah.
So it happens. And there's no way you can jump back off. If someone's just gone 140, 130 for you, it would take some serious
Yes.
to trade that out. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about doing it.
Are you really?
It's Zach Merrett at 938.
Yep.
There's
And
that
just
as well.
ride through and
Yes.
hope for that he pushes through the tags or hope that they don't happen.
The thing is, I think his stocks have risen with Parrish and Caldwell out.
Oh, big
There'll
time.
there's
Yeah.
no worries about different roles, that's for sure.
Agree.
Obviously.
He's back. They've got to be smart about that from here on.
Yeah. So anyway, I like him as an option.
Good.
All right.
Well, how much do you like him? Make him the number 1 trade target and he sucks and gets injured?
It's Monday, mate. I can't give that away.
Right. Other names that we like there. Marcus Bontempelli, coming off a 133. Again, he's at 944K. That is a cheap price for someone that can do what
He's a
he
roller
can do.
coaster, but
Isn't
it's
he?
the Bont.
It's the Bont coaster.
You just got to do it.
You do.
So the one that I do like, if you want that instant reward, is Zach Butters. So he is 947K.
Yeah.
Again, cheap. He plays West Coast.
Yes.
So that's where you get that nice instant reward. Their run, scale of hardness.
It's okay without being great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, he's coming off that 119, which is his best score for a little while, and they've been solid-ish scores
Yep.
without being outstanding.
It was against the Lions, too,
Against the
wasn't it?
Lions
Yep.
to do that.
He played like 90% time on ground. If you've got a midfielder that is willing to be out there for that long, I like that.
I like that too.
So I like him. I almost feel like he might be the best option out of those 3 that we talked about.
Oh, do you just?
Oh, we'll have to stay tuned for Warnie's
Thursday
top 5
night.
trade targets.
Tom Green, could you still go there? 995. Now, talking about
The save.
quarter pounders and what we saw with those. So, what do you end up with? He had a 100-point second half. Oh, not second half. It was pretty big. 53 points in the last quarter to get himself to a ton.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
He went full junk mode last quarter.
Did he just?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
There were some
phenomenal.
big ones there, just quietly on some of those quarter pounders for the weekend. Sam Darcy.
Oh, man.
65 he had in the last quarter
He
to get him
saved
to an
them.
80.
That's an incredible save.
That's a huge save. Noah Anderson,
Yeah,
100 points in the last half.
Yeah,
That's
so he had a
massive.
47 and then a 53 or 53 in the
22 he had at the half, and then just flipped a switch. Bang.
third. Nasiah, he had 52 in the last quarter.
Saved himself.
Good captain. Good captain. Rowan Marshall had a 50 in that last quarter as well.
Yeah, he'll do that to you.
Big row. No doubt about it.
Calvin's captains, mate.
Why are they chasing DeConning so hard?
I don't know.
Speaking of row, let's talk rucks. So,
Okay.
Tristan Xerri, if the big X is out,
Okay.
that's where you need to go. Yes or no?
You go to Grundy first.
Would you?
Yes.
Grundy's the man.
Grundy the man. Ruck Pig is back.
Ruckpig's back all right.
He's back all right. And a nice little run home. But Marshall does have a great run as well.
So you do have a bit of a price difference there between them, like 80K.
Oh, that's a fair bit.
It is.
This day
And
age.
Marshall's got the run. Obviously, they're playing against each other this
They
week.
play each
Oh,
other. don't
God, Grundy will be huge in
they?
that.
He will. Get off my notes over here, Destroy.
Sorry,
That's what I wrote. Grundy will be huge in that.
yeah, well, fair call. Good thinking.
That's-
They're both good.
They're
though.
both great options. If you need to save the cash, you go Rowan.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah. True.
So I guess if you were looking at that X trade that you needed to do, I think I'm doing that. Is there a world, though, because a lot of us now have Luke Jackson in the forward line, that you would nearly do that switch, trade X essentially to a forward, or if you then have more DPP going around?
The rucks are where
Do you just have to get the
you
ruck?
have to get the ruck.
More rucks you can get in, the better.
Yes.
Now let's look at the forwards. Jack McRae, are you happy to have him? Well, you blokes are, because you got that 123 from him. He's 934K.
I'm happy with that, but there was an extraordinary amount of stoppage and free little cuddle tackles in that.
Yeah.
Like he had 10, and they didn't even count his proper hard tackles.
He's got one of the more confirmed roles, though, in the game, doesn't he?
Yeah, so he's good to have there. And that 123 and that price looks great. I just don't think it's something you'd really want to chase to buy into.
No, and as I said...
It was only through desperate times I've ended up
Well,
there.
that's it.
And I feel like I was lucky to get that score,
And
to
so
be
do
honest.
I.
That
100%.
4-week run, though, that they've got coming up, Melbourne, North Melbourne, Richmond, Essendon.
Oh, right, okay, well,
That's pretty awesome.
I've been
That is.
kissed. I've been
Yeah.
kissed.
So I got him because of the scale.
Yeah.
I don't really like the matchup this week,
No.
but as we said before, in the forward line there, what do you do? They're all just meh.
On that tackle thing, my goodness, if you clipped up the softest tackles counted versus the best ones not count, like the commentators actually need to have a lesson on this because they keep saying, "What a great tackle." Sorry, no.
No, it
you
didn't
need
count.
to change your wording. It wasn't a tackle.
No, it didn't count.
No. Anyway, play on. That's my.
You've got the big
whinge.
dogs there, Brian Myers. You're near paying a meal for him, but you still do that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just
He just
price.
racks it.
Yeah, he's good.
Chad Warner at 863.
That's what
It's
yeah.
cheap.
It's cheap,
It is cheap.
but it's a bit meh.
It
Yeah,
is.
it is.
Like he's gone 71, 89, 97 since the buy.
No.
But they've got
all solid, isn't it?
they've got the Saints and North Melbourne, the next two.
Yeah.
But Cow, as you said, St Kilda aren't giving up
Well, not to midfielders.
midfielders.
It's just not a good area to shop.
It's not.
He,
So
he,
do you,
c- he could get clamped. So,
Yeah.
like, even he doesn't
Yeah,
have
he's
to be
easy
in great
to.
form
Yeah.
to cop a windy.
so then there are some cheaper guys. $721,000 for a bloke that scored 85, not great, but plays West Coast this week. Jason Horn-Francis.
It's not an awful score for that price, to be
He's
honest.
so cheap.
58% CBAs, which put him as the third banana. That's his most CBAs that he's had since round 8.
That's promising.
It is.
So he's come back from his, what was it? Was it a hammy? And then he hurt his shoulder when he came back.
So, no, remember,
It was like pre-buy, he hurt something, soft tissue,
yeah,
and then he came back with his Ace Ventura shoulder.
he had that, and then he did the hammy, didn't he?
I thought that was pre. Anyway,
Oh, no. Well, okay, so, no, well, it was hammy, shoulder.
and then he's just struggled the last couple. Like he's played through them,
Oh, right, yeah. God.
but then he's back in the midfield.
What did he get subbed
And that's
out
the key
for?
thing for.
Was that
just
nothing?
playing forward and just giving him a rest.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I assumed that was a tweak of a hammy or something.
no,
Oh,
it was
my
just a rest.
God. Buy at your own risk.
Well, that's what you're doing. Like, it's so cheap.
It is cheap, but it could be the little move that you might need to make.
He's nearly the second most drama.
Yes.
Player
Yeah.
after
There's
Bailey.
always something
He's up
going on,
there.
isn't
Yeah.
there?
So you're saying no?
I'm not recommending it.
I'm
no.
saying, hell no.
Well, if you wanted,
Hell
if you
no.
were thinking there, you could save yourself then 122K by going Jack Martin.
I prefer it.
He's got a break even of 9, and he's at 599K. He's gone 76, 84, 107, and it is that role change,
Yeah.
that halfback role.
I prefer him to Horn Francis.
If you were looking for a
the
23rd
price.
player,
Okay, that's what you'd be shopping
something like
for.
that would be...
But there
something
might
you could
be
do.
this might be that the cash shuffle that people might be doing. Like you might just go down a little bit further to get that couple of $100K to do that thing that you really needed to do.
It's a line you could do it in because you can throw a blanket over like
Throw a
F5 and
blanket.
6.
Yes.
Like they're nearly,
Yeah.
they're wasted spots anyway, like Petrarca.
Yeah.
Just a 70 there, at probably F5.
So on that, are you trading out of Petrarca?
But to who?
That's
Yeah.
the problem.
So that's why he just stays.
Even, like, what's his price? Because if you look at, say, Jack Martin as a cash grab, you're probably
200K.
So you're making 200K, and I don't know if you're going to be much worse off
No, you're not.
every week.
So for people without cash gen,
that would be.
That is a play.
Like, it's got to be called last resort and high risk,
Yes,
etc.
of course. Yep.
But, gosh, you could do worse probably.
It's an interesting time for trading at the moment, for sure. The most traded players ahead of around 18 is what we're up to.
18?
George Stevens is the most traded in. People have pulled the trigger and got that cash cow in. Errol Gulden's next. Zach Merrett.
Oh, boy.
Colby McKercher and Jack McRae round out the 5 most traded in players. Fair bit there, probably off the back of what they scored last week, I reckon. Bit of maybe Monday morning rage trading.
I don't think it is. I think it's good common sense trading. You guys have just got scars.
That's
We
it.
do.
We do.
All right.
Most traded out, Ned Long. Time to go. Ned, thank you for your service. Zach Johnson, Caleb Sarong pulling the trigger there after that tag that saw him score just 46. Manny Liddy and Angus Sheldrick. The other in the top 5 most traded out players. This is what everyone wants to know. Who you're trading out, Roy, because you're the master trader.
Right, so I am getting rid of Johnson, who's not fully fattened.
Yeah, that's okay.
And Long to a huge upgrade of Zach Merrett, boys.
He's doing it.
And
Oh, no.
I'll bring Stevens in as well. But yeah, Zach Merrett is my big trade target this week.
Okay, you banked 100 extra points from your trades last week.
Yeah, it's
you going to do it again this week?
100% I will. I'll be going Errol and Whitfield in
big.
Massive.
at the expense of Chera and Dale dug a hole. He can
Oh,
go.
that's silly.
Get out.
Can't do that.
Yes, you can.
Goodness.
Well, I've got my traded in player last week. Jai Caldwell, he goes out. I'm going to grab Errol, just going to go straight to the top. And Sam Doherty goes to Zach Butters. So I think Butters, I just want that instant reward this week against the Eagles.
Good target.
But we all know what happens when you go, oh, this should happen this week. It doesn't.
Got a question for the traders? Tweet the boys at AFL Fantasy or head to facebook.com/AFL Fantasy official.
All right, lots of questions.
Not
We're gonna
bringing any bombers in this week, dog.
No, just trading them out. Probably should get rid of Nick Martin as well.
Well, geez, he no good.
Can't believe. It's just unlucky. The Warn Dogs
Just
try
wait.
hard.
I'll find someone for you. Just wait till Thursday.
Yeah, the weekly trade targets. Don't forget to tune into that at afl.com.au and
It's
the AFL
amazing.
Live official app
The
from
first-
6:15 on
The
Thursdays.
first blip on the radar came through an unfortunate injury that requires surgery. The first mistake
Yes.
has an asterisk.
It was a mistake because he was on track. He would have scored an 80.
He doesn't need time on ground to score, mate. He would have been fine. Give me a question. I'm feeling like I've got some good answers coming up.
All right. Here's one. I forgot to put the E on Daniel and missed out on 90 points. How do I cope?
Well, same thing basically happened to me earlier this year. You will never cope or recover from it. It'll feel like your season's wrecked for the rest of the year. There you go.
All right, Hayden wants to know this, fellas. Who goes first if Caldwell is sweet? Well, it sounds like he won't be,
He's
but let's say. Who's going first out of these guys? Dale? Daniel?
Dale
I've got
goes
more to
first.
come.
Daniel,
Really?
easily.
But to who? That's why Dale goes, I reckon. You can get Dale to Whitfield.
You've got the flexibility. He's with... So Daniel isn't necessarily on people's... He's not. He's probably their 7th forward, to be honest.
Yeah.
So you can just trade him to anyone with DPP flexibility.
Okay. Fair enough.
So,
Don't you reckon?
Yeah.
So just say he's got the flexibility. Do you think it's...
Oh, yes, if he has the flexibility.
But if not, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
does Doherty or Stinclair go before them? I think Doherty goes before those two.
Yeah,
Dale
that's fair.
Tough match
Sinclair,
up
I think
as
I'd
well.
hold.
It is.
I'd hold Sinclair.
Stink can stay. They've got a good run coming up. He's got to come good at some point.
Surely.
Surely.
He got a razz up from the coach.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Good.
a big one.
Good.
On field, visible. And he responded.
Yep. Good. Called him Stinky.
Yeah.
Nick, legends have gone X, Dale, and Lord. Who goes first? Oh, and Baz. Well, you're holding Baz now. Hopefully he plays. Lordy goes before any of those guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you've got to try to get... See, Lordy could be an easy sideways trade to Martin.
He would be.
That would be a way to play that
Yeah.
one if you
Yep.
were struggling with cash.
Yes.
Gone, X, or Dale? Could you move X as a preemptive sort of move? Mainly because...
If you are really happy with everyone else on your field, there is Rucks just getting it done on the weekly, and he ain't.
Well,
And that's the thing.
X is against Gone this week.
That's not good.
That's not
So
good.
X's scale then, Cal.
And then Grundy.
yeah,
That's not
Gone,
good.
Grundy.
Not good. And then
Geelong,
after
he
that,
should be right. Marshall, he
Yeah,
should
he'll
be
be good there
smash.
too, yeah.
GWS. He's got a good run after that.
He's got 2
Goes
weeks
Geelong.
of hell.
Yeah. 2 of the best rucks in the comp at the moment in Gone and Grundy into Geelong, St Kilda, GWS, Richmond.
That's coming off a month of...
But it's a month. This is what he's done. So since his bye, he went the 111 against West Coast, of course.
Walk up.
93 against the Dockers, 84 against the Blues, 93 against the Hawks, 96 against the Dogs. It's just a bit below what the Rucks are doing. It's 10 plus points
It is.
that you're missing out on each week.
Look, I'm not considering moving him on, but looking at his next 2 weeks, on the back of that form and head knocks...
You're not going to have any trouble moving him, though, if he's ruled out.
Oh,
Like, you're not even...
wouldn't
Well, not that you
hesitate.
can think twice because
No,
you don't have a
but-
bench, but, like, it's...
No, but you'd be thinking...
You know you're making
getting
an upgrade
Yeah,
for the rest of the year.
you would, yeah.
there is a play there where you could get rid of him for 2 weeks. Get rid of the 2 tough games against Gone and Grundy.
Yeah.
And then bring him back in for that green run coming home.
Has any of the big dogs got a real nice too, like a real green patch?
No, not really. The best one, so you got someone like Marshall he's got Grundy this week.
Yeah.
But then he's got Geelong.
Yeah.
There's a 140.
Yeah, so he'll put it, over the next 2 weeks, he'll put a fair bit on X's head.
He will.
Josh Guy, 04. Whitfield, Dunks or Butters in this week for Sheldrick? I'm saying no to Dunks.
It's definitely
You
no
do
to
not
Dunkley.
do Dunks. We didn't even mention him in that thing.
No.
For a good reason.
No, it's definitely not him
It's Whitfield.
over Butters.
Yep.
Is it?
Is it Whitfield over Butters?
Yep.
So I maybe need to change
No,
that.
you don't have to change it, dog. Keep your shit team bad.
Well, Butters... no. Butters still has West Coast this week. And you could really, if you're planning ahead and things go your way, you could go Butters and then Whitfield for a bit cheaper next week.
Apologies, everyone. I forgot what podcast we were on.
The other thing too, Cal, my team isn't that bad.
It is, dog.
There are people with worse teams than me that are listening to this and want some nice
I
advice.
just like
and
kicking
don't
you
want,
when
and
you're
don't
down.
want to be felt like that you are bullying them.
No, their teams are fine. Yours isn't. You just make stupid calls every single week.
Zoe made a stupid call here. Butters for the ceiling, Merrett for safety. Feels like Merritt's the one with the ceiling after that 140.
It does.
But Butters does feel like that ceiling guy though, doesn't he? Because he can
does.
just go ballistic. And maybe it's for this week. Butters should have the ceiling this week.
He should.
Merrett scored 149 on
He did, yeah.
Richmond earlier this year.
Okay.
Okay, split
Definitive
those two
answer.
then.
I'm Butters, and I don't know if it's the scars.
Butters is the safer play for the rest of the
For the
year.
long term.
Yeah,
So you're getting Merrett, right?
yeah.
Will you offload him at any point?
I would say so.
You will.
When I start crying about him
Yep.
not scoring versus tags.
This is like your the sarong stuff that you've got your receipts for.
Yes.
The off-air receipts.
I edited that
Will
stuff,
he-
by the way.
Will he need...
Nice people also picked Sarong. So I took it out.
Will you wait for a bad score from Merrett before you offload, or will you
Yes,
jump?
as if I'm good enough to
Yeah, okay.
do that.
Okay, I'm just saying. Well, just trying to get in the mind.
But
of
yes,
the-
no, you're right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of very flaggable games
Yep.
coming up.
Skippy's throwing a couple of other names in here as midfield targets. He's got Merrett there. He's also got Green there. Are you Merrett ahead of Green? Green costs a little bit more, 50k more.
I'm Merrett.
I
think.
He's also thrown out Steele and Heaney.
No.
No, I'm Merrett.
And no.
I'm Merrett, Green, Steele, Heaney.
All right. William, is Naz still worth it at $1.16 million?
Yes.
Yeah,
He is.
he is.
But
He is clearly the best player in the game, based on what I've seen last week, and Sam Mitchell apparently trying 4 people on him, and he still looked like that. He should be Brownlow favourite. Is he worth that much? Yes. is he finally going to get attention this week? I think yes, for the first time this year.
Like so even in his last 6 games, he's gone at 126.
It's ridiculously good.
Lowest score there of 109.
The worst thing is, as a non-owner, he's not a butcher. So
No.
you'd think he'd be the first one.
Yes, that makes
clamped.
no sense.
It doesn't make any sense. So damaging. Anyway,
So last year against Sydney, he had a 99.
yeah.
So I have to look into see what that looked like.
Lachie Gillespie, can you tick off Caldwell and or a Doc, Cher or Stinkler to Nasiah and Lloyd?
Lloyd is going
Okay,
really well.
yes.
So since being dropped, he's dropped 2 really good scores. Now, the interesting thing, and that I didn't like about last game, when Lloyd is popping a 110, he's usually racked up, but he only got 15 possessions. Now, he had 9 marks in that, also kicked 2 goals. So it's like the least convincing 110 score I've seen from a player in his role.
Yeah.
But as far as value goes and ability to score in this role since getting dropped, yes, he's an option. Could I do it? No.
No, the week before that, 14 marks.
Yeah.
Bushy wants to know Long, Rankin and Tom Stewart, who goes first?
Long,
I feel like it's
Rankin or Stewart?
Long because of who you might be able to get that to.
Yeah.
Stewart didn't do what I thought he would do
No,
on
he was
the
no
weekend.
good.
No,
Well, and got
very
GWS
disappointing. Like
this
Jack
week.
Martin's taking more marks.
Yeah.
And Rankin is the answer to get rid of. We got very lucky as Rankin owners that he kicked 5 goals and scored 100.
Yeah.
5 goals.
But it's the
returned.
forward line that you can throw the blanket over.
that's it.
Do you
And
know-
he may very well outscore the guy that you bring in.
So I've got a lot of guys that have reached their expired date. So people like Doc and Long and that. Long this week has the Suns, who are giving up an incredible amount in the midfield.
Number 1 easiest for midfielders, Roy.
It makes me feel like when I'm throwing darts at which one to get out, maybe he does get an extra week.
Yeah.
But I'd still only be expecting an 85.
Yep.
But just factor that in as well.
Maverick, you guys said no, but can I play Jackson in my second ruck position for X and bring in another premium?
More rucks you can have in the team.
What, a premium forward?
Well, this is the thing. I wouldn't be doing it for a forward.
That's the thing.
But if it was a midfielder, could X turn into Gulden, for example? Is X to Gulden better than X to Marshall? I probably wouldn't argue. I would probably think that Marshall's still the better one, in a way.
Yeah, see, that's where it's difficult.
Or you could be making some cash from
What?
it as well. That's the other thing.
So
You
if
could.
so
X is under $1 million now. Can you believe that?
no. So with the forwards, there's what? If you didn't have Bailey Smith, what other forward would you actually want? And Bailey, you'd still give a week to now anyway.
Martin?
Yeah, and would
No,
you chase it after
after
that
that.
performance?
Are you chasing Kennedy?
No.
Myers, maybe?
He's sort of a tempting one
Yeah.
if you didn't have. But the others, it's hard to justify paying up
No.
for. Martin did have 160 versus Richmond
there you
last
go.
time.
Yeah.
Surely
Surely
bounces
he
back.
gets that this time.
Surely.
Has
Kieran wants to know, is it too late to jump on Kirch?
to. No.
It's probably
It's
not.
not, but
833.
it just gets later and the flags might come. If that last quarter was anything to go
That's
by,
the thing.
you missed out on a lot of the value of what's happened.
Hard to buy into knowing that he did swing forward that last quarter. Or,
It was weird, wasn't it?
Or if it was the wing, he wasn't touching it on the wing. I'm not sure.
He's gone 109 in his last 3.
Yeah, and so for that price, it's no wonder people are shopping there.
Yeah.
Fantasy 491. Hey, legends, listening in from the North Pole. So,
Yay!
do we tick off?
I always wondered who that was, that one.
Tick off Dale to Merrett. Are you okay doing that?
Roy, why don't you like me getting rid of Dale?
Because he's fine.
Is he, though?
He's just copped a couple of tags. One of those tags, he was on track for 140. And then he got clamped. But they don't clamp Nasiah. Are they really going to keep clamping Duggar? I don't think so.
So
Surely.
the question was Dale to Merrett. Are you ticking that off?
Who does Dale play this week? Adelaide.
Yes.
Well, okay. I'm just going to step back and go Dale or Merrett. Who would you prefer? It's Merrett by a country mile.
Okay.
Yes, you can do it.
Lauren wants to get a tick off of Dale and Chera out to McRae and Merrett. Old school.
Yeah, isn't
McRae
it?
and Merrett.
What a combo.
Feels like that might have been from a podcast in
Yes.
Well, yeah, it's a double upgrade. To be honest.
2015 or something.
It's a double up.
Yep.
Take it.
It is. Is that enough? I think we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it, dog.
You've had enough, Cow.
Yeah, about 10 minutes ago, mate.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm starving.
Yeah. Oh, actually, just got a message from Sam. We've got, you know where we're going? We're going to Banjo's for lunch today.
What? Yes.
There's a beef brisket pie.
Who messaged you this?
Sam. It is so good.
Have you had it already?
Yes.
You little pie pig.
Jalapenos in it, Cow.
What?
You wouldn't like that.
Jalapenos, you mean?
It's so
All right,
good.
I'm willing to go there. I'm really
Is it hot? Is it spicy hot?
I got a bit on it, but not too much.
I'm out.
You'll be right.
Beef brisket.
All right, let's wrap it up then. Sicko.
Speaking of hot, I like your tracky pants you've rolled.
Yeah, you like it?
You can't take you anywhere for lunch today.
No, I won't come.
Did you sleep in them?
I did sleep in them.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on Thursday night. If you're listening to this on Spotify, if you've got a question for Thursday night show, drop it in the comments on Spotify and we'll try to get to that as we go through that. It is around 18 ahead of us. That's it.
Yeah, just keep going.
Happy what?
And happy trading.